Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about it. WWE major return, setting up a major program. It is expected for tonight's WWE Raw. Also, in addition to that, a AAA star really shined this past weekend at Worlds Collide. And of course, WWE is trying to take advantage. We're going to talk about that and the possible move to NXT. And we are going to talk about some really big news surrounding AEW's TV deal, Warner Bros. Discovery, new developments. What is happening there? How does it impact AEW? It's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. And as always, if you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. This way you never miss a video. We are on the hunt for 100,000 followers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things off with Mr. Iguana. Oh my God, WWE highlighting Mr. Iguana all weekend. If you guys watched Worlds Collide, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, because if there was somebody who really stood out, if there was somebody who really made their presence felt, and if there was somebody who truly went viral this past weekend, it was Mr. Iguana. And the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, WWE is fully aware of what has happened here. WWE officials are now discussing bringing in Mr. Iguana into WWE programming, and it looks like NXT will be the place where it could happen. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, he has reported that one NXT source indicated that they are pushing for him to make appearances. And honestly, this is the right call. This is the right move. WWE has something really special here with Mr. Iguana. And I kind of want to talk about this a little bit more in depth. If you're somebody like me who pays attention to everything that's happening in professional wrestling, if you watch AAA, if you watch CMLL, and you try to watch and consume as much of these products as you can, then you know who some of these people are and you know what kind of talent they bring. But it isn't until WWE or AEW highlights them in a way that presents them a little bit differently. And I feel like WWE has really mastered the art of production, because Mr. Iguana was able to get his spots into the match. But of course, they were able to do so much more. The way that they produced it and the way that they were all on board and the camera angles and all of these different things was legitimately WWE trying to tell you guys, hey, we know this is a big deal. And I think that level of exposure is not only just a great thing in general, but it's an entertaining thing to see as well. I do believe wrestling should have a little bit of comedy, right? And it's tricky. Sometimes comedy could be really good. Sometimes it could be really bad. But with what we saw with Mr. Iguana, the WWE universe will eat it up. And I think this is one of those cool situations where it's like, dude, take advantage. And WWE is doing that. Merchandise, all that good stuff, it's happening in real time. We are witnessing something special. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. AEW, Warner Bros. Discovery. What is happening here? How does it impact AEW? Because that is a very, very big deal. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, AEW's parent company, Warner Bros. Discovery, right? The parent company meaning for the TV deal. Warner Bros. Discovery is breaking up, and it is a very interesting breakup because Warner Bros. Discovery is going to split into half. So essentially, they just announced today that they are splitting its entertainment empire into two separate publicly traded companies. One company will be called Global Networks, and this will include TBS and TNT. This is obviously where AEW airs Collision and Dynamite. And then they will also have Bleacher Report and Discovery Plus. Now, this is going to be overseen by somebody differently. That means David Zaslav is no longer operating the TV deal portion for AEW. Now, the second company is Warner Bros. Discovery's streaming and studios. So this means like HBO Max, DC Studios, the Warner Bros. Movie sets, all that stuff that they have. This is going to be ran by David Zaslav, who is the current CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery. Now, David Zaslav is the guy that you guys might remember from CM Punk's promo on AEW Dynamite. You know that Tony Khan has brought him up a lot when it comes to the, TV deal portion of things with AEW. This is a really big deal, but this is not something I'm shocked with at all. Obviously, we have spoken about the TV deal portion of AEW a lot because Warner Bros. Discovery has kind of struggled a lot, right? In comparison to Netflix, a lot of streaming platforms are just not profitable. A lot of them are struggling. And with Warner Bros. Discovery, now that David Zaslav is going to be running the opposite of them, you have to wonder, what does this mean for AEW? You know, David Zaslav was somebody who has been very, very, very involved with AEW, and now he's not going to be overseeing that. And you have to wonder about the synergies, right? Because HBO Max has a sports section attached to it, but now that's going to be a separate company. So you have to wonder exactly what's the play here. This becomes a really tricky situation for AEW. No, I don't think this immediately impacts AEW, but I do think this is a major problem for AEW, because the thing about AEW that has been so great is the fact that there's been this synergy between them and their TV deal. And so with Warner Bros. Discovery kind of falling apart right now, you have to wonder, how does that impact AEW later on as time goes on? You know, there's been all this talk about AEW pay-per-views coming to Warner Bros. Discovery, you know, with HBO Max. Well, now HBO Max is technically a separate company. This is crazy. This is weird. It's such a weird shakeup. And maybe this has no effects on AEW at all, but because they will be two separate publicly traded companies, they might have different investors and shareholders that they have to impress. So there, again, it loses some of that synergy. This is a concern for sure. And it has nothing to do whether or not AEW is a good or bad product. It just has legitimately everything to do with the fact that the company that has their TV deal is now splitting up. And it's just, it's crazy. It is honestly crazy. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. Goldberg is coming back, and it sounds like tonight could be the night that it actually happens. WWE is, in fact, bringing Goldberg back for one final match, but now there has been some hiccups along the way. For those who are completely unaware, Goldberg has mentioned that he's been getting hurt while training, dealing with body issues, trying to get those all fixed and patched up, ready to go. However, WWE has Gunther versus Jey Uso tonight for the World Heavyweight Championship, which now is must-see, because after Money in the Bank and Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank, a lot of people are curious to see if WWE Raw will go off the air with Seth Rollins winning the World Heavyweight Championship yet again. But of course, a lot of people are also wondering if this is the time where Goldberg is set to make his return. Now, it is very rare that Gunther loses on television, and WWE having Jey Uso beat Gunther clean isn't very likely. So a lot of people believe that this is going to be a situation where Goldberg does, in fact, make his return tonight to set up Saturday night's main event for the following month. And obviously, that makes a lot of sense. Now, for those who are complaining about Goldberg coming back and doing a return, my thing here, it's been the most consistent opinion. It's his final run. It's his final match. It's his retirement match. As long as he puts over Gunther or Braun Breaker, I don't care. I have no problem with that. Now, if Goldberg comes in and he gets the win and that's how they send him off, that's a terrible decision, and I would never forgive WWE for doing so. But I just don't think WWE will, in fact, do that, which hopefully I am right. Now, Goldberg coming back tonight out of all nights makes this a must-see show. We know Nikki Bella is returning. We know Seth Rollins now holds Money in the Bank. We now know Becky Lynch is the Women's Intercontinental Champion. And, of course, you got a lot of stuff brewing with Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day and Finn Balor. So we obviously got to wait and see what is happening there. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, if you want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next time.